Hey guys, Weir Road Ruda. Um, this video is going to be called Clif Educates the Crypto Ignorant. Yeah, it might sound a little harsh, crypto ignorant, but yeah, there's a lot of people out there who are smarter um, than others and completely close their eyes to what is happening. So they are ignorant. They choose to be ignorant. It's not like they haven't heard of the cryptocurrencies. It's not like they haven't heard of Bitcoin. It's that they didn't spend the time, energy, and effort to understand it. So that's ignorance. If you claim to know something and don't spend the time, energy, and effort to learn it fully, then you don't know it. And that's the bottom line. And I got so frustrated during these two interviews that Clif just did. Clif is a saint for even taking these interviews. Kerry Cassidy had asked myself and Clif to come on to speak with her inside source Paladin. And I declined right away. I went through the tooth pulling of talking to Kerry Cassidy a couple of weeks ago. And she believes what she is told. If I told her I was an inside secret agent from XYZ Department of Energy and things like that, she would believe it more than me saying, oh my God, I have discovered this road to root theory by doing the homework and diving in and investigating and pulling out these documents from the Federal Reserve archives and all the research I've done over the last 15 years. It doesn't mean anything to her. It means zero. During our whole interview, all she said was, well, who do you know? Who told you this? And I'm like, oh my God, pure, complete ignorance. And then she builds it and cements it in her head as this is it. This is the only answer. And I'm going to pull on these other people who are going to regurgitate the same story over and over again so that, you know, it reassures me that I have the correct answer. She does very little research on her own, at least when I talk to her. And then listening to this interview with Clif and Paladin, I actually came away going, Paladin's not that bad of a guy. He's just a little, you know, he's looking at the future as in, you know, the bad guys are still in control. And I have proven they're not in control. Clif has data that says they're not going to be in control in the future, and here's why and how. But Kerry Cassidy is, yeah, that's why I turned down the interview. And I thought, you know, Paladin would be some kind of kook like her, but no, not at all. Paladin was like, all right, I can see what Clif's saying. I hope it works out that way, but you know, I believe in the past that these bankers and controllers have full control over our lives and will continue to have full control. They're just waiting for their moment to inject their supreme power into the cryptocurrencies. And I don't believe that's true, and Clif doesn't believe that's true, and you know, I can show you evidence that people within the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. Fed don't believe that's true, and that this is a solution to a huge problem, and that huge problem was, how do we go from the old system to the new system without killing millions, if not billions, of people because of the disruption it would cause? But then they get to AI, the artificial intelligence discussion between Kerry Cassidy and Clif. Clif's speaking from personal knowledge. He dives in. He knows this. All Kerry says is, no, that's not true because I have 4 contacts that say this. Kerry has no idea what she's talking about. Clif's first thing was, well, we need to define artificial intelligence. What is it? You know, if we're going to argue if something is right or wrong, you got to know what you're arguing about. Just by saying artificial intelligence, you know, are we talking about a computer? Are we talking about something outside of a computer code? Are we talking about, you know, what are we really talking about? And Kerry just would not go there because she doesn't have a clue what she's talking about. Not a clue. And I'm sorry, all the Kerry Cassidy lovers. I know there weren't many who subscribed to my channel after I talked with her, but the frustration. If you watch this this discussion, the roundtable between Clif, Paladin, and Kerry, you'll get what I'm talking about right away when you listen to Kerry continue to talk and continue to talk and continue to talk, convincing herself that her contacts are absolutely correct, even though she knows nothing about computer programming, AI, and Clif's trying to explain to her how computers work, how software works, and it just boom right over her head. And then she gets all angry at Clif and mutes him at one point. I'm just going to mute you. It's frustrating. It's kind of ridiculous, the conversation. But bravo to Clif High for going out there and doing this interview and other interviews. I didn't. I didn't see the point of it, but I can see Clif's point. There's people who listen to Kerry and Paladin and think, oh, yeah, these people are insiders because they were told this by someone else. Not that they did their homework on their own, but they were told this by a third party, which may or may not be true. And it even gets into Kerry saying testimony is fact. If someone says something and they have these credentials, that is fact and stands up in a court of law. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But it is what it is. Clif, bravo to you for muscling out that interview. And sorry I bailed on you. I don't think I could have added anything. It would have just frustrated me, and I probably would have done what you did, start fighting back until Kerry muted you. The other interview Clif did, he's on a roll lately, is with CW Chanter. He cracks me up. He loves to listen to his own voice. But he's not a Bitcoin believer. And I think over time, it's funny, the longer you talk to Clif, the longer Clif talks to people who don't really get it. They don't have an idea of what's going on. But that's the whole Clif's motto right now, is to educate the world. And he's doing an amazing job with people who are extremely frustrating. CW was frustrated just because he loves to talk. And he'll continually talk and joke around and talk, and then he'll say something serious. I don't know how good Kerry is at listening. I don't know how good CW is at listening. But as I listen to Clif speak, I learn more and more. I know I don't believe everything that Clif believes, but I believe he believes it, and I believe he did his homework. And that's the key, is I think everybody should do your own homework. Don't listen to what I say. Go look at those Road to Ruta documents on your own, and don't listen to what Clif says. If you're interested in a topic he talks about, dive in and learn it yourself. And if he's right or if he's wrong, come up and say, hey, Clif, what about this in AI? Have you thought about this? Not just, oh, somebody told me who works at the CIA. It's the most ridiculous arguments. But I did listen to both these interviews. I do recommend that everybody listens to it who's interested in the evolution of the cryptocurrencies and what it means for our future and what 2018 will mean to our monetary system. And it goes back, you can go back to the Economist magazine of 1988 with the phoenix rising from the burning paper currencies on the cover. And it does have a medallion that says 2018. I've done some analysis into that. And if you look at the World in 2017 report, the Economist magazine report with all the tarot cards on it, I think that's absolutely coming true right now. Although I thought it would stretch out throughout the entire year, it's really coming down to the last few months that the change is happening, the takedown. Trump really is talking when he talks about the calm before the storm. We're now in the storm. We're seeing all these pedophiles being arrested, thank God. We're seeing Donna Brazil's book outing the evil Clinton empire, even talking about the death and murder of Seth Rich and how she was afraid for her life because of it, because of shadowy figures in the Clinton campaign. These aren't shadowy figures. These are the Clintons and their operatives who have racked up a Clinton death list of over 100 people have died working for the Clintons. I mean, that's not a joke. That's fact, absolute fact. And all these deaths are absolutely mysterious deaths. Healthy people dying suddenly of a heart attack, dying of 3 gunshot wounds to the head, and them calling it a suicide. One guy died with killed himself with a a nail gun. And these are direct people, directly related to the Clintons. They either knew too much, or were trying to take the Clintons down, or were in the way for some reason. And yes, it's over 100 now, all documented, all newspaper articles about the death, and then the connection between them and either the campaign, or they worked for him, or all the security guards in Arkansas that died, the Clinton security guard, his detail. Ridiculous that they've gotten away with this stuff. And Donna Brazile is in deep, deep trouble now, if you ask me, because there's all kinds of dirt, and talks about them rigging the election against Bernie. Donna Brazile is no saint. She pretends to be a saint. She's the one who was giving the questions from CNN to Hillary Clinton before the election. Talk about the rigging and manipulation of election that the Democrats are all pissed off at Trump about. Here we have facts, people admitting that they did it on the Democrat side. Absolutely. You're messing with the sacred U.S. election process. They should all go to jail. Absolutely. Including Donna Brazile. You can't leak questions from CNN days before the roundtable discussion, or whatever discussion it was between Trump and Hillary. They were feeding, Donna Brazile was feeding questions to Hillary Clinton. That is messing with our election. Anyway, yeah, it's very frustrating, all that stuff, but it is all happening right now. And while that stuff happens, you're having the rise of the crypto economy. It's not cryptocurrencies only. It's crypto tokens. It's crypto tokens that are used within a business for a reason. If the crypto has no reason, it's not going to survive, and it shouldn't survive, and you should not invest in cryptos that have no reason for being. Things like Bit Petite, where it's a pyramid scheme. So you get some people and you invest and you get interest, and there's no reason for it. There's no purpose. BitConnect is the same thing. I know it's gigantic. I know people have made millions. It is going to implode as soon as people start running and they start seeing these other things implode. People will run out of that one too. And yes, some people have made huge money off that. Congratulations. Is it a moral way to make money? No. And morality is going to come into play. I had this argument with Andy Hoffman. What has morality got to do with investing? I said it has everything to do with it. If it's not moral, it's not going to work in the long run. And you shouldn't be investing in things that are not moral, in my opinion. And you could do whatever you want out there. But yeah, so that's my take. And bravo, Clif High, for putting up with Kerry Cassidy especially. Oh my God. It's pulling teeth even listening to what the way her mind works. And CW is actually, this is the first time I've ever heard of him. And he actually cracked me up. But he's a little sneaky in the way he'll joke around, talk a lot, and then ask you a serious question. But I think both interviews came off well for Clif. Obviously, Clif is much more educated and has learned more than these people have. So he is educating the crypto ignorant. And I want to see a discussion. I would love to see a discussion with Clif High and whatever. What's the silver guy's name? Chris Dwayne. I would love to see that debate and see Chris Dwayne. He's definitely crypto ignorant because he shut off everything the moment he found the cryptocurrencies. The moment he found Bitcoin, he said it was $10 or $6 or whatever it was. He shut it down. He said, I'll never. And he never did another ounce of work, but he tells all his people it's a scam, a fraud, blah, blah, blah. I would love to see that discussion, but I know Chris Dwayne wouldn't do that. People have tried to set up me and Chris Dwayne, and I'm not as educated on the computer side of it as Clif, but I would love to. I am on the silver side. I would love to argue with Chris Dwayne about the pros and cons of Bitcoin, and we're on the same side with silver. He just decided not to learn anything from the moment he heard about the cryptos. Anyway, this is Big Square, roadtoroot.com. Make sure you check out these two videos. One's called Clif High in Conversation at CW Chanter's site, and the other is Roundtable, Clif High, Paladin, and Kerry, Cryptocurrencies and the Future at Project Hamlet. Check it out. If you're, I mean, with the Kerry Cassidy interview, it's like pulling teeth. It might be difficult to stomach and get through. You might have to pause it a few times and say, oh my God, yeah, she needs to do a lot of homework. This is Big Weir. I'll talk to you later.